Good evening, good afternoon, good night to M. Voss and the Navy Blues as well. How are you, Tone? My glasses just fell off my head. How are you, mate? Episode 44 AC.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, not too bad. Yeah, battling away. Been a bit busy this week, like everybody, I suppose. Getting close to the start of the school year over here again, and stuff to do at home, and it's just non-stop, mate.
That's
Never
the
ends.
best. Keeping busy is good, mate. Keeping busy keeps you off the streets, keeps you out of the pubs, and keeps you out of the TAB.
Oh,
Is that not right?
oh yes. How about you? How are you going?
Yeah, everything's good. Round two in the soccer or football. For all our people out there, bet 365 in the UK. If you've got it, you can bet on our games. I can't, I don't, but I know people do. But what about Mardo? Where is he? Do you reckon he's out shopping, banking?
Oh, mate, he's out looking
Or
for.
what?
It's either a new horse or a new
Yep.
house, because he's just made so much money, hasn't he? He's just on the. He's
Hang on,
on the pump, so to
hang
speak.
on. He is on a hot streak. There's no doubting that. Absolutely not. But
Absolutely.
Tone, me and you, we know Marto. And the good thing about Marto is he's been sharing his winners with the PALTI familiar. It is awesome, isn't it?
It is. It is.
But what about the 305 other bets that he's having? How are they going? Hey, Marto, we know we love you.
Absolutely.
Because he's a sneaky man, isn't he?
He is. He is. He certainly is. But yes, he has been throwing out some winners recently, hasn't he? He's been on the pump.
He has.
Yes,
And as I said, I mean, I don't care how many bets he has. I don't care how many tips he has. All I care about is that he's given us the right ones.
Yep.
So, Marto, well done on giving us 3 out of 333 winners every week. I'm sorry about the other 327 that you're missing out on, but you're doing the right thing by Palti and giving us the 3 winners that you're striking every week. So well done, son. Get up.
Absolutely. That's it, isn't it? Bonus.
He's also sent some stuff through this week, and it's a big week. Marno would be here and saying, "Oh, Premier Racing in New South Wales, $1,503 million worth with 14 Group 1 races, 6 Group 2 races, and 3 Group 3 races on a 9-race card meeting." That's what.
There we go. If he's spot on.
Have you had a look? Have you had a look? Did you have a sneaky look at them?
I've had a look at a couple. Yes.
All right. Well, we're not going to waste too much time. We want to get straight into it. So first up, because Marto has been flying, I'm just getting my phone out and I'm going to read what Marto has been telling us to get on. So Marto, thank you. And we're going to start with your Kickstarter. And I'm going to read it word for word. Marto says, race 1, number 1 at Randwick, North England. $3.60. In other words, he's saying Scotland or Wales. And he says, look, back to 1,100 metres is ideal for this classy sprinter. Drawn low, Marto expects he leads again with Clark on. Forgive his slipper run, just found it a touch too far and was probably a run short on fitness. Only a couple of lengths from Tetris 2 starts back, and you could argue that one would have won the slipper. Well, Marto, I would argue with you about that one winning the slipper. But race 1, North England is Marto's Kickstarter.
Beautiful.
What do you reckon, Tone? Can he win?
Well, Marto's on such a winning streak. I dare not tip against him. And I think it's a pretty good horse, this North England, isn't it? I mean, it's
he's taken ownership of it. I reckon he's been spruiking it. I mean, the horse has only won one race, and I don't know, it's had about 4 starts, and Marto's tipped it every time. But having said that, he got the 1 out of the 4 winners, didn't he? Marto once when it won. I think it's won. I hope it's won.
He might have shares in it.
He might, mate. Marto could have shares in anything. Marto would have shares in I don't know, in shares.
He
Um,
might, he might have shares in the Carlton Football Club.
well, I don't think he's too happy about them at the moment. So,
No,
could you imagine his multi bets and stuff? We haven't seen any, but I think he's at work tonight. So maybe when he gets his 20-minute break and he gets an opportunity to
oh,
go through his 312 tickets, hopefully he can throw out a winning one for us. Because I tell you what, they were terrible, the Blue Baggers. But anyway, we're here about racing, Tone. We're here about racing.
yep,
Now, I'm going to tell you my Kickstarter because
yep.
me and you have gone over to the same state, except you've taken your old favourite formula. But I've gone race 1 in Morfettville, number 9,
Oh,
Dancing Storm. Now, this is fourth up, this horse, and I reckon it goes well, and I reckon it's ready. It was out caught wide last start, so it's a forgiving run. It's drawn nicely this week, so it should get some nice cover. And have a look at and listen to this. This has got form behind Ad Astra. It's won its last 2. It was in an open race where it finished 6 beaten, probably less than 3 lengths. And it was also placed first up behind Bakil. Very progressive horse.
well, yeah, it's a pretty good horse.
Fourth run, been close, no cigar. Get the pipe out this weekend, mate, because this one's going to blow them away. Race 1,
Oh,
Dancing Storm at about $5.50. That's me at Morpheville. Tone, tell me where you've gone. Have you gone to race 2 in Morfettville?
no, actually, I've got for a change. I've gone to Morfettville race 3.
You have indeed.
Race 3, yes, and I've jumped on number 6, Dual Fuel. How's that? What a name, Dual Fuel. It's got little what's her name? Is it Carly or Kayla Crowther on board?
Kayla.
Yep. Drawn nicely. It's drawn nicely in 1 barrier 1,
Right.
carrying 54 kilos. Is well up. I think it's well up to this. I mean, it is a pretty competitive sort of race, but I do like her in this. At one last start, actually, at Morpheville, and I reckon if it gets should get a nice run behind the tempo, drawn ideally. Like I said, it is a bit of a competitive race, but I have I have confidence in her ability to get us over the line.
Well, Tone, this has been up since before Moses parted the blue Red Sea. That's how long this horse has been up for. Um, I do know the horse. I'm not saying it can't win because it can, and it is a stayer. I'm not poisoning anyone other than Marto this week, because when we poison Marto, he wins. When we
He wins. That's what happens.
when we poison each other, we poison each other.
We
So
do.
so we don't want to do that. So just Marto poison. Look, definitely a chance. Dual fuel. You know, the only thing I say is, Tone, can you put unleaded in a leaded engine? That's my question.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
So it's a chance. So what we've got $5 roughly into $5 into Marto's 360. But Marto's 360, as we know the way that it works, is Marto takes a race where there's, might be 10, 12 runners. He knows that 4 of them are going to get scratched. So he starts with 360. All the deductions come in, and before you know it, it jumps and it's $1.80. But
there we go.
it wins though. That's the most important thing. We will not back We will not, um, criticize Mano for giving us $1.80 winners, because you know what? $1.80 winner is still $1.80 winner, isn't it?
Well, that's it. Small fish are sweet, as they say.
They do, but they've also got small bones that you can choke on very quickly. So good luck, Mano. Good luck, Tone. We'll probably, that's a good bet there. We've got 75 to 1 if we get all 3.
Oh,
And it's a big chance.
nice.
But, I am surprised that you've gone to Adelaide, considering Adelaide is my territory, but it looks like I'm moving into your old territory, Queensland.
Oh yes, you've gone up to the
I have.
criminal state.
I'm expecting racing to go ahead this week. Now, I've got Marto's other information here. So we're going to go about his meat and 2 veg because Marto's gone back to the well with his meat and 2 veg and he's gone to Randwick again. And this one's even
He
a
likes
bigger
the
price.
old Randwick, doesn't he?
Yeah, this one's even a bigger price than $3.60. It's $2.80.
Oh,
But a winner is a winner, Marto, and at 280 with less deductions, plus some, market moves. I mean, I'm sure this one we might get $2. It's race 10, number 1, Clean Energy. Something that Marto has tipped before for us. And
yes, I was going to say I recognise that name.
This is what he says. She gave them a sprint lesson at the Valley last start when she was the only horse to win from the back on a day for leaders. Finds a similar field here and stays at the 1200 metre. More jumps on to steer and should find a track rated in the soft range again. She is a zoo star, so she likes a little wet and loves to fast. Very hard to beat. Don't know if that makes sense there about fasting. I thought Ramadan's over. She's not a Muslim horse, is she? But clear energy is the one.
Beautiful.
Racing number 1. I've tried to read it in my children reading book voice. Well done, Marto. Meat and 2 veg. I mean, if both your tips get up and we get $1.80 into $1.80, we'll be lucky to buy bloody bangers and mash. But we've still got winners, Marto. We love you. What do you think, Tone? Is it in your numbers?
Oh, absolutely. It's in my number. It's in my numbers. There's quite a few that are in my numbers. They're big fields up in Sydney too, aren't they? They're quite big. That's why I stayed away from Melbourne and Sydney. And a lot of criminal jockeys of late. What's name absolutely slaughtered a couple today. Zach Lloyd as usual. Damian Lane was off key today, and Jeff Penza rode a stinker on a thing that I thought would win and ran like a busted ass. But anyway, there we go.
Yeah, well, Marto.
Yeah, I think Marto's right in.
I know that they've had a lot of rain north of Victoria, and I think a lot of that rain now is moving inland. So whilst it's a soft track at the moment, it'll probably still remain soft. But hopefully, all going to plan, they get some racing up in Queensland because the last few tips I've had up there, they've been beauties. They have been so good that they've called the races off so that I don't lose. Isn't a bad thing though, because on the Wednesday, Tone, I think both you and Marto threw out a winner and mine was scratched. So rather than being 3, we went 2 from 2. It was good to see the boys. Some of them,
yes, some of them cleaned up there.
So it's always good.
He has been throwing out some good price winners, Marto. That's for sure.
Yes,
on the ball. Great.
He has indeed, and hasn't he been telling us about it?
Absolutely.
He's not shy, is he, when he's winning? He doesn't sort of talk himself up, does he?
The town crier.
Unbelievable. Now, Tone, let's see where you're going for your titanium tip.
Well, the titanium tip has been, it's absolutely stinking for quite a while. Stink a dog off a gut wagon. So I'm going to stay in South Australia, and I've gone to race 8, number 10, Suzidor or Suzidor. I don't know how you actually pronounce that.
Suzidor is the way it's pronounced. That's good enough.
Now this is let me have a look here. I think I've got it.
It's the main race, I think, on the day. I'm falling asleep here, Tone. I'm really sorry, fella. Everyone, ladies and gents.
Yeah. What did I say? Yeah, race 8.
Race 8.
There it is. And the Adelaide Galvanizing Industries. Yes. So number 10. Number 9.
No,
am I right?
Number 9 or number 10?
Oh, sorry. No, there's two that's similar. That's it. Sorry, yeah. Number 10.
Yes.
Once again, I've got little. Did you say Kayla?
Kayla it is. Kayla Crafter.
Kayla's on board again. I think this is actually favourite. It is actually favourite. I've tipped a favourite here. So it was narrowly beaten and heavily backed last start when it ran second at Morpheville.
Yes.
And two of 5 wins have come from the dry ground, and it drops down in weight. I think it's a big chance. I really do. Drawn well in 3.
I looked at that race, and I'm going to look at it right now as well, because I was a little bit concerned with something that I thought I liked that I nearly made a fister, but I'm not going to poison you, and I'm not going to throw it out there. And I'm not going to tell everyone that what's 10 divided by 2. So there you go. That's the number that it is. I won't name the horse. I just think, yeah, I looked at the race. I nearly made it a fister, Tone, but then when you tip Susie Door, it's actually second pick. It's called Zabella, but I do rate Susador, but I also like this thing's first up form. It's had 5 starts and it's been in the money 4. Now, I know it's over 1,000 metres and maybe it goes better over 1,200, the Zabella, but it is going to be a good race. The thing I like is that Zabella goes forward, which should give Susie Door some genuine pace. And if they are running on, I think, yeah, you're in a real big chance. So 370, nothing wrong with that. I myself, Tone, have gone to the criminal state that you say is Queensland. And
not again. What's happened to New South Wales and Victoria? We've dropped them like a hot potato this week, haven't we?
I haven't, but I've found of recent, I'm finding better, I don't know, better form that I can read a little bit better. I know my last winner 2 weeks ago was up there.
That was a good price. Yeah,
$6, Hermanita, and I know I tipped Yabby something last week, which got scratched, and I know that it's in again.
Yabby Prince, was it? Yabby something. Yeah,
it was Yabby something anyway, and it was scratched because they abandoned the meeting, and I'm pretty sure it's in on Saturday, but I haven't gone to it. I've gone to one where I've thrown poison on you once before, but it didn't win, nor did yours, and that's why I'm not poisoning you. So I've gone to Eagle Farm. It is Eagle Farm, I think, isn't it? I'm pretty sure it is. Is it Eagle Farm or is it Doomben? Hang on, geez, I'm stupid sometimes, and these glasses keep
Eagle Farm.
It is Eagle Farm.
You're right.
Here we go. It is Eagle Farm, race 10, waiting until the last, number 6, Compelling Truth. It's at about $6 now. It will definitely go forward. It does love the sting out of the ground. This thing has won 4 out of 7 on rain affected. It is going to be a rain affected track there at Eagle Farm. It's won 9 out of 20 races, and Bailey Wheeler is on it, claiming 0, and he's won on him before. The danger that I see in this is down the bottom, number 13, Hell, who I think is going to lead or look to lead. But I reckon
Jesus, got nothing on its back.
Yeah, I know, but look, it won at Rockhampton or something to start before, but it really only fell in. I don't know if it's really up to this class because it's failed previous prep in town when it was up in the better ones. But look, King Kappa, Manhood, they're also going to want to go forward. In my opinion, though, I think Compelling Truth gets the better run. Hell sets it up, and I reckon we win. That's pretty straightforward. I reckon we win. We will get the better map. We get conditions to suit. We've got a jockey that's won on a horse and a horse that loves the wet. If that ain't a formula, then I don't know what is. So that's where I'm going. The one thing, Tone, that you can be guaranteed, if they decide to abandon again, no one loses.
No one loses. You're a winner again.
Again. So it is a bit of a hard day.
Yep.
We'll see. Now, before we get into the feature races, Tone, what do you think about coaches flying across the country to talk to players of opposition teams about trying to lure them to your club the following year. Do you think it should be allowed? Sam Mitchell flew to Western Australia to catch up with the captain of the West Coast Eagles, Oscar Allen, to try to lure him out of there to get him to come to Hawthorn next year. How do you feel about that?
I don't think things like that should be happening during the season. In the off season and during the trade times, fair enough,
Yeah.
But during the season, when the season's in play, I don't think they should be allowed to do, to be negotiating, the following year with players of an opposition team.
How would you feel if you were a player at West Coast and you know that your captain met with another coach about going to their club next year? How do you think the West Coast boys would feel going into the locker room and being jeered up by their captain, saying, "Come on, fellas, let's go out there today. We're all one. We wear this jumper with pride," knowing that that's the captain who's looking at jumping off the ship next year? I mean, that's what I don't understand.
Oh, if I were the players, I would go out there and purposely lose.
Yeah. I mean, I
Like, because his heart isn't there in the club. There's no
looking
loyalty.
for a
Well,
way
there's no
out.
loyalty to football anyway. But
You're the club captain. Do you know what I mean? Like don't get
yeah,
me again, I don't know how I really feel about the whole process, right? But when you're the club captain and this comes out in the media, it just questions your commitment to the club that you're at. Do you know what I mean? The buy-in that you're trying to create, or the leadership, because it's your actions that
well,
count more than your words, I think, right?
the players aren't going to be. They're not going to be behind the captain, are they?
Well, that's what I
They're
think.
going to. Yeah, it's not a good thing. Absolutely.
And I'm going to ask you something else that someone else raised. How would you feel if through the course of the year we had a transfer window that was open? Because like in most sports, you can have a trade window. Do you know what I mean? Like in the EPL, they have the window open right up until a certain time. In the basketball, they do the same thing. What about if in the AFL they said we had a trade window up until say round 4? So players could still potentially be traded from one club to another up until a certain time. Then they close that transfer window. Do you think it would work in the AFL?
Not sure on that one. I'm sure but there'd be a lot of work involved in that, wouldn't there? A lot of how could you judge? How's your team going to go if you've got players coming and going like that late
But it's your
in the
squad.
season? Or it's early in the season, but it's late. Like how are you going to get them to work together, to gel together? Right? Yeah, I don't think it's a good idea, but it might work.
They
But
do it with the round ball. That's the thing. They have the trade win or the transfer window, the deadline and stuff like that. So they do
and
it.
do you think that? Well, the question to you, Tess, do you think that makes a lot of difference to some teams who probably weren't going to do very well, but they get those few trades in that
Yeah.
trade window? Does it make a difference to
I,
their chances
I
for
think
the
it
year?
can. I think it can, especially like when some clubs have players that have got long-term injuries, and then you think, well, maybe I can get him in to do that role rather than trying to top up with a supplementary player who's potentially a lucky dip. Um, I don't know if I'm for it or against it. It was just something that I heard, and I thought it was quite interesting that as a sport we don't yet do that. That's all. I think it could help clubs. Like for example, I look at Carlton, and they're going terrible, 0-4. I'll just say that terrible. But they might be looking at their squad, knowing that the window sort of closes, let's say next week, and think, you know what, we really do need leg speed. can we get someone across who's going to offer us that? And I know it might sound terrible, and I mean we are down the bottom, for example, but maybe there's someone interstate that could be looking at moving next year. Can we get him across earlier now to potentially plug a little hole? I don't know. It is food for thought. It was raised in conversation. I don't know if it was on one of the radio stations or whatever, but it was very, very interesting. So who knows what they're going to do?
Yeah, would be interesting. I don't know whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, but it
Yeah,
could help a lot of teams out. You know, could very well, yeah.
yeah, could help, could hinder. Now, Marto has also sent us other tips, and
That
we've got to really, really share Marto's information, because he's offered it, and normally he only offers us 3 tips, but when Marto's on
that's it.
time, he's offered us 5 and 6. So I'm going to read them out, and then I want to get some of your thoughts. So Marto's got one in the TJ Smith. Now the TJ Smith, I think, is race 7
Race 7.
at
Yep.
at Randwick, and Marto's found one, and it's race 7, number 6. I don't think it can win, but it's sorry, Marto, just my poison. Sunshine in Paris, and Marto says expect the odds to fall as the track upgrades from heavy. She had a good run behind a couple of smart ones last start and found trouble in the run. Good gap between runs, which suits and draws to sit behind the speed and should have clear air late this time. Can she run down overpass? That's what Marto thinks. Marto, Tone, is it in your numbers? Sunshine in Paris?
Actually, it's my tip.
Is it?
So it's got Marto's got no hope now. I've tipped it, so
That's the
we're
best.
done, Marto. We're not going to win.
Well,
I
because
do like Sunshine in Paris.
I'm really surprised because I nearly made this my best bet. Briasa, $4.50. It had no luck in the galaxy. This horse has won 6 out of 8 and run 2/4. The galaxy was run by Private Harry. Now, Private
Yes.
Harry just got sold for $528 million. I don't know how much it got sold for, to be honest, but it went for an absolute fortune, and they're setting it for the Everest. If Private Harry was in this race, probably going to be close to $2, 2.50. And Briasa was extremely unlucky. So for me,
Oh, I thought it was a shit ride. He ran it up the arse of everything in the race.
well,
Who was on it?
then I don't know, but
Or am I thinking of something else? But
I don't know, but I tell
Briasa.
you what, I didn't. I just think it's my TJ race special. Yeah,
Oh, I like that word, special.
well, that's what we think Marto's tips are, special. Now Marto's
They're,
also looked at the Doncaster Mile, and Marto looked at
right.
it. And do you know what Marto's tipped?
Half the field.
He's done better than that. He said lottery, forget it. That
Oh,
nearly made me fall off my chair. Marto looking at a race saying don't have a bet.
oh my God.
Do you believe it?
Yeah. No, he must have tipped something.
That's right. No, well, he hasn't tipped anything, but I don't think he's probably had time to do the form in a race. That's probably what it was.
Oh,
He said
it's
lottery, forget it.
it's
Forget
tough,
it.
isn't it?
Oh, it's tough, but there's one in this race that Waller's got that I mentioned just quietly to you boys the other day. Moira.
I'm on. I'm on.
Now,
I'm on.
the only thing that concerned me, Tone, is it's drawn barrier 21, but this horse, it's literally won God knows everything in the United States. There was a little birdie that said to me that Waller actually thought this thing goes as good as Via Sistina, if not better. But barrier 21, that scares me. But Zach Purton's
But
on it too.
look who's on it. Yeah, look
Zach
who they've
Purton.
the enforcer. They've
Zach
put him on.
Purton.
absolutely. Yeah, that puts a lot of confidence in your pocket, doesn't it? I think with Zach Purton, absolutely. Yeah, I think it's overpriced, but then again, it is a really tough field, so it's probably priced about right, I suppose. First up, like you said, you're probably getting a price because of the barrier.
Yeah,
But with Zach Purton, he can do anything, Magic Man.
Oh, mate, he wouldn't have come here for nothing, would he? I mean, he's probably got a few other rides as well, but look, this thing's won just about everything from a broodmare perspective. She is worth a fortune, let alone if she wins here, Southern Hemisphere as well. So, it'll be interesting to see how she goes. It's a big watch for me. I know Haggis has got one in this race as well that's going first up. It's huge odds down the bottom. It's got some Abu Dhabi Do type name. Waller's got 6 in the race. I think Bjorn's got a few. Waterhouse has got a few. I really, really like the Doncaster. I know Marto says lottery, forget it. But to me, everyone wants to win the lottery, don't they?
Absolutely. And this horse has been, out of 17 starts, it's been unplaced twice. So it's pretty impressive, isn't it?
You
I
know
don't know how many wins it's had, but golly.
I can tell you because I think it's gone. It's won about the same amount of money that Marto's won in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Hang on, Marto. How much have you won? $30? No, this horse has won more than that. Where is it? I've just got to bring it up. Benda Doncaster. I know she's won a fortune. I know, Gringotts and Hazy tipped that to us. Tommy Kitten's been going really well. The Blue Battler. Go what? Stephanie.
Yes.
Geez, it's a really good race. But Moira has won over $4 million, just under 4.5 million. It's won 7 and been placed 8 out of 15. Yeah, look, it's, as I said, it's USA form and Canada form. It's all over 2,000 and stuff, and upwards of 1,800. It's just too interesting to watch, and it says it likes the wet. I don't know where they get that from.
There we go.
I don't think synthetic form is wet form, but anyway, let's see how we go because there'll be some big bets landed if it wins.
Oh,
If
absolutely.
it does win the Doncaster.
And one of them will be yours. Big bet.
No,
absolutely.
Mine's not a big bet, but let's just say it's a smart bet.
It's a smart bet.
It's a smart bet. I'll tell you how smart it is if it gets up or if it runs a drum.
You were on at 50s.
Because what I've also done is I've taken it into a few futures. Because what's the point of finding hypothetically a 50 to 1 horse if you can't turn 50 to 1 into 200 to 50 to 1?
Absolutely. Yep.
We're going to try anyway. The Derby's the other one, real big race at Randwick. Some pretty good horses have gone out and won that race 90 Australian Derby, Randwick. I know there's a Kiwi syndicated horse that, I'm surprised Marto didn't buy into it. Will he do it? It's one of those horses where everyone can buy those shares. Marto's been talking about Gold Rush Guru. It's in it. I know where I'm going. Tone, have you got something there for yourself?
Yes, I have, and I'm sticking with one of the most honest jockeys out there on the racetrack. I'm going with Plymouth, number 5, Mark Zara on board.
Can't win now, Tone.
Why's that?
Because that's what I like.
No.
Yeah.
As they say, great minds think alike, or dumb minds never differ. One or the other.
It's exactly the one I like because I thought its run over 2,000 last start was really good. Even it got a little bit of sort of hit a flat spot coming around the turn, and then got squeezed and didn't get the run through. And then when it did, it sort of worked home to the line really, really well.
It got caught in traffic, didn't it?
Yeah.
But if it makes you feel any better, my second pick, almost my first pick, was Gold Rush Guru.
Well, there you go. Well, it's going to be a big day, Tone. We're all in it.
Absolutely.
Marto, we've missed you, but at the same time, we haven't, because the chat goes crazy with Marto news. So keep it up. Keep putting out those winners. Final word, Tone, before we
Absolutely.
say good night.
Good luck, everybody. Yes, it's a massive race day, as Marto said, and hopefully